Amid Russia's relentless wave of missile and drone strikes, the president of Ukraine declared that Kyiv should not be seen as an obstacle to peace, emphasizing his nation's continued desire to end the conflict through genuine dialogue and international cooperation. His statement came as a direct response to comments made just a day earlier by US President Trump, who had claimed that Kyiv was deliberately stalling progress on a potential peace agreement, a remark that sparked widespread discussion across global diplomatic circles. In his nightly address to the Ukrainian people, President Zelensky announced that his government would intensify its diplomatic engagement with Washington and NATO, reaffirming the country's commitment to strengthening alliances and securing long-term regional stability. As Zelensky gets desperate for a peace deal, he says, and I quote, "We also talked about diplomatic work with America. Ukraine has never been and will never be an obstacle to peace," unquote. Zelensky's latest remarks followed a phone call with NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte, as Russian strikes continue to batter Ukrainian cities, underscoring the escalating intensity of the conflict and the urgency of international coordination. US President Trump claimed that the Ukrainian leader was slowing down the momentum toward a potential peace agreement, suggesting that Kyiv's approach might be hindering the chance for meaningful diplomatic progress. The comments were made during an interview with Reuters, where Trump asserted that Moscow now seemed more open to negotiation, framing his statement as an observation of shifting dynamics in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine standoff. "I think he's ready to make a deal," Trump declared on January 14th, referring to Russian President Vladimir Putin, a remark that drew both criticism and intrigue among political analysts and foreign policy observers. Ukraine continues to come under steady barrage of drone strikes, with officials reporting Russia's deployment of the advanced Oreshnik drones, a weapon that has added a new dimension to Moscow's relentless aerial assault. These repeated attacks have caused extensive damage to Ukraine's already fragile energy infrastructure, plunging several cities into darkness and triggering widespread blackouts that have disrupted daily life and emergency services. The harsh winter conditions have only intensified the strain on Ukraine's power grid, making it increasingly difficult for repair crews to restore electricity and increasing pressure on both civilians and the government. Amid these ongoing assaults, President Zelensky reaffirmed that Ukraine has never stood in the way of peace efforts, stressing his administration's ongoing commitment to dialogue and a just resolution through diplomacy. He pointed out that Russia's continued bombardment of civilian areas and vital energy sites clearly demonstrates that Moscow is undermining any genuine opportunity for a peace agreement. Zelensky emphasized that the constant use of missiles and drones serves as undeniable proof that Russia has no real interest in pursuing any form of lasting or meaningful peace accord. In an interview with Reuters, US President Donald Trump said he believed Russian President Vladimir Putin was genuinely ready to strike a deal, suggesting that the path toward ending the conflict might depend on how Kyiv responds in the coming weeks. The Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, publicly backed Trump's assessment, arguing that it is Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky who continues to hold up meaningful negotiations and prevent progress on potential peace talks. Peskov added that President Putin, along with the broader Russian leadership, remains open to dialogue and willing to pursue discussions aimed at stabilizing the situation, provided Ukraine and its allies approach talks in good faith. Facing mounting pressure from constant military aggression and worsening damage to critical infrastructure, President Zelensky announced that Ukraine would intensify its diplomatic efforts and engage more actively with Western partners to seek lasting solutions. Relations between Trump and Zelensky have long been fraught, marked by moments of sharp tension, including a heated Oval Office exchange in February 2025 that underscored the deep divisions in their approach to the ongoing war.